The most important takeaway messages from the board meeting. The first talking point is with respect to our 2,000, our hosting of the 2,000 or more farmers on the ICRISAT campus last Wednesday. I thought that this was an extremely important event. I was quite impressed by the participation of the farmers, but I was very moved by the deep interest that they had in the research that was being done by ICRISAT. And when we listened to the comments that they were making, both individually and as to us as individual board members, and then to the group, I think that this was a very strong testimony to the strength of the work of ICRISAT, the power of the research being done by ICRISAT, and the importance of ICRISAT's research lifting people out of poverty. The second area that I think was important for the board is to talk about some of the strategic priorities of the organization, and particularly with respect to research programs. How do we prioritize our research programs? How do we continue to focus on the much needed research around our 5 mandate crops? How to get to markets, how to open up new markets, how to unlock the potential of many of our crops with respect to nutritional improvement, reduction of malnutrition, and also reduction of environmental degradation in very degraded landscapes. So that, I think, was a very important discussion that was held by the board. And then related to those strategic priorities, what would be some of our strategic objectives going forward? I think the board concluded that there were 3 strategic objectives for management to focus on, senior management to focus on. One is with respect to resource mobilization, how to, in light of the dwindling resources that we see coming through the CGIAR centrally, how can the Institute be much more aggressive, have a much more highly ramped up fundraising program to be able to match our income, to bring in income to be able to match our expenses. So resource mobilization being key, talent, being able to recruit strong talent, keeping scientists, high quality scientists on board, keep them motivated, and going into different programs such as postdoctoral research fellowships to attract bright, new, motivated people and scientists into the system, I think was another area of concern. So resource mobilization, talent, and then I think, as I said, are trying to focus on our research programs, where our research programs should be going in the future to be able to keep up with the demands, to have a demand-driven research program oriented to the needs of the stakeholders and what we need to be able to do to prove impact on the ground. I think were some of the 3 key strategic areas that we felt needed to be addressed and be discussed in great detail. So I think those were the key take-home messages from the board meeting from where I sat as the board chair.